Hey guys, Balefire CrossFit mobility episode number 4 here at the home. Okay, this is my casa. We're talking about two things today. We're focusing on two mobility pieces. Okay, so the things we saw in the gym this week, we got some back squatting done, we pressed overhead, but we also got back into those strict pull-ups and those strict ring dips that we tested for a few weeks back. Okay, now the shoulder piece we're going to be talking about today is pretty important for our overall performance with all of our shoulder-based movements, whether that's a front rack position in a clean or a front squat, going overhead, a ring dip or a push-up. Okay, but we're going to start with a lower extremity first. And this, the deal here, guys, is we want simple recipes to start with when we're trying to start our own mobility practice. And this is one of those basic pieces. We call it single leg flexion. It's to allow us to work on a position that we might find ourselves in a movement in the box, like a squat, receiving a clean, a deadlift. So one leg at a time, we get to stretch and mobilize for that movement. So here's the single leg flexion. I start in a basic table position. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lunge a leg out. Okay, now what I want here with this leg out in front of me is vertical shin. Okay, straight up and down, and a flat foot. Okay, I want to keep that foot flat as long as I can. I can even use a hand to keep that foot screwed into the ground. Okay, I'm almost ready to start this mobilization. Next thing I need to do is stagger that leg behind me a little more. This is nice because it's a 2-for-1. I can even mobilize the front structures of this hip, like the hip flexor and quad. So, first position, I can just scour and find some stiff stuff. Okay, I'm pulling my knee out, I'm sinking my hip low, keeping my butt tight as I do it. I can even work myself away from that leg. Okay, another thing I can do is work myself back, drop down to the elbow, okay, and apply some gentle pressure into the thigh and exaggerate some of the knee out positions we like in squatting or even a little bit in deadlift. Okay, now the last thing I can do to add variety and to tie in new tissue is I can reach the hips back, keeping my midsection tight as I do it. This allows me to tie in a little bit more of the hamstring. I can reset, same thing, vertical shin, and I can work through those same positions. Okay, so what we want there is 2 minutes per leg. Very basic one. You can do that in the airport. You can do it at the house. You can really quickly do it after a run even. Okay, but as we mentioned earlier, one of those basic pieces that we want to get after to start to feed some slack for some of our more important movements for the shoulder, particularly ring dips, push-ups, overhead pressing, overhead squatting, all very important. This piece is going to help us open that up. Okay, and we can mobilize until we're blue in the face on, some of the shoulder, the pec, the lat, even some of the rotator cuff, and we might not find the slack that we're looking for to go overhead. And the reason why is we have to get into that upper back, into that thoracic spine to do it. Okay, so I know these are uncomfortable, but if you have an issue going overhead with the ring dip, etc., you need to spend some time getting after this, and you will see the dividends rather quickly. So the target area is first right between the shoulder blade and the spine, this meaty pouch. Okay, I want to work down from the top all the way down to the base of the shoulder blade. And what we want to see here is I'm going to position the ball and lay back, okay, getting some of my weight on it. And then we're looking for 15 to 20 arm swings, nice and slow. You can see how this could tie into overhead positioning. And then we're going to move down a segment. There should be 5 little pit stops where you do 15 to 20 repetitions of this arm swing before you move on to the next one. Okay? All right. So we want 15 to 20 there. Now I can realize that, hey, you might not want to commit that amount of time. I definitely recommend that you do. However, if you need to go with the 2-minute model, try and best use your time. Spend 20 seconds on each segment, or spend 2 minutes up in the first two, and then the next time around spend 2 minutes in the bottom three, whatever. But we got to get after that spot. So homework this weekend: single leg flexion, 2 minutes per side, and then take that ball, get it in the back, arm swings 15 to 20. Okay, we'll see you guys next week.